So the new year is finally here, and this is definitely the time of year that so many of us make resolutions to be better and get healthier. And if you've landed yourself here, that probably includes you too. Naturally, weight loss is one of the top resolutions folks have on their list of must-conquers for the year. But here's the thing. A majority of folks will fail at their goals no matter how well intended. One of the things that can knock you straight on your back when it comes to dieting is rooted in your relationship with food. How do you overcome this though, right? Well, that's what I want to get into today. But first, we need to go back in time for a bit. Close your eyes and think back to when you were a child. Little tiny toddler you. Things were so simple then. You didn't stress over food. Everything was so much more intuitive. When you were hungry, you were fed and you ate. When you were full, you stopped eating. And that beat drummed on without you even batting an eye. Fast forward a few laters. All of a sudden, your decision and feelings around a natural biological process took a cynical turn. You're now obsessed with food and counting calories. You're paranoid about how what you're eating will affect your body, but in a super unhealthy way. Perhaps you're using food to cover up and numb your emotions. But how did all of this start? And when did you begin spiraling out of control? There are so many factors that likely triggered this in you. Judgy and shaming comments from your parents or other family members about your food choices and how much you eat. Unsolicited comments from others about how you look and whether you've gained weight or not. Even things you might have picked up in health classes at school, or even more commonly, crazy diets and trends you might have gotten sucked into on social media. All of these things can have an impact on how and why you eat and your overall relationship with food. But you're here to talk about how to fix this, right? Exactly. So let's get into it. But before we do, take a moment right now to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up on all of my latest videos and tips to help you to empower your femininity and embrace your true womanhood with fitness as the driving factor behind your desire to level up. And if what I say today compels you to take action and get unstuck, check out the link below to reach out to me to get help and maybe even speak to me one-on-one. Now on to the solution. So the first thing that we need to do is to actually define what a healthy relationship with food even looks like. The truth is, that's going to be different for each one of us. But here's the main thing you need to strive for. Shifting your mindset around food so that you see it as a source of fuel for your body to be able to perform the stuff you got to get done on a day-to-day basis. And part of that mindset should also be around having more fun with what you eat. Look, we've got to admit, food does provide us with not only energy, but it gives us pleasure from a sensory standpoint and gives us comfort as well. This is actually normal and likely attached to how we've evolved for survival over thousands of years. So in order to be successful at overcoming emotional eating, you've got to learn how to marry the two. Once you do, you'll start to find that old childhood feedback loop of eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full, and doing that without stress will start to return. The next thing I want you to do is become super aware of how you classify foods. So this is a big one. When you think of a candy bar, do you think of it as good or bad food? How about a burger and fries? That's a yummy combo. But do you classify this as a good food choice or a bad one? Okay, now let's think about a salad. Is a salad seen as good or bad food to you? Well, let's take a step back and acknowledge that these foods are not suspects standing in a lineup here, okay? They're not on trial to prove their guilt or innocence. So why are we adamant about throwing labels like good and bad on fuel for the body? I mean, sure, they can be unhealthy if eaten in abundance and not incorporated into your diet in an inclusive way. And what we want to focus on from now on is how to do that successfully. Here's groundbreaking truth I want you to sit with for a bit. Having that salad for lunch to detox or make up for eating so badly a day or hours before is disordered eating. You're not having that salad simply because you want to satisfy a crunchy craving or you just want something fresh and refreshing and somewhat healthy. You're eating it because you think it can magically erase those calories you've attached to feelings of guilt and self-loathing. Calories you think will alter your body in dubious ways. Look, my love, one or two off-plan things isn't going to completely ruin your progress unless it's something you're doing repeatedly and way in excess of what your body needs to see the physical changes you want. And if that's happening, we've got an even deeper core issue at hand that would need to be addressed. The mindset shift that needs to happen to fix this is rooted in flexible dieting, approaching your way of eating to allow for food variety, cheat meals, and diet breaks when you need them. Giving yourself permission to enjoy some more fun foods that you typically wouldn't eat day to day, and you welcome it. These are all realistic actions and shifts you can take right now that will improve your relationship with food and still have you seeing results. And finally, I want you to realize that shifting your mindset around food and eating is going to be a slow process. You won't always get it right. You'll fall back into destructive habits from time to time. But the more important aspect of all of this is that you simply start and you allow yourself to acknowledge that you aren't perfect and you don't have to be. Let's be honest, your discomfort around food didn't pop up overnight. As we've explored, this is typically years of triggers that you have to learn to overcome. And just like most things we deeply struggle with, getting help from licensed and certified professionals may be the right and best next steps for you. If you want to explore that opportunity to get help and get your eating under control with me by your side, go ahead and click the link below to reach out. And while you're at it, I want you to go ahead and watch this next video that I think will help you to find even more clarity when it comes to your mindset around food. I'll see you over there.